Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the live streaming of today's session. This session is about the paper discussion of NATA, second attempt, which was held on 3rd of June. And we will be discussing the cognitive design test paper. Okay, so let's get started, guys. And I hope you all have subscribe to our channel. Okay, so to get all the benefits, please do subscribe to our channel and get all the updates regarding what is happening, the latest things that are happening in the field of design as well as architecture. So let's get started. So here we have the NATA second attempt paper, which is shift 1. We will be coming up with shift 2 as well very soon. So if you had followed our previous live sessions, you would know that we have been discussing these formative drawing test paper, right? And it is primarily about elements of design, principles of design, color theory, the psychological impact of any particular image on the viewer, which is somewhere which is measured with the help of Gestalt principle. We apply Gestalt principle to get our visual perceptions right, identify them. Also, we have seen that there were certain things which were introduced this year, right? So probably you will be shown any image for 30 to 45 seconds, and you will be asked to certain questions based on that image. The image will vanish on its own, and you'll have to remember the important features of that particular image and um, answer particular questions based on it, right? Also, we had seen that this time also in the second attempt as well as in the first attempt, there were certain questions which were not just your basic principle or elements of design, but it was to an advanced level. It was uh, actually at a level that is being taught in colleges, right? To the architecture students and all. Certain terminologies were very, very precise in terms of architecture studies. So, what does that mean? That means that we have to take these examinations very, very seriously, and it is not just simple elements and principles of design that you are learning, but you have to go a little bit beyond the basics and learn these elements and principles in terms of architecture. Okay, so here we have one of the images, the first images. Again, it says that you have to choose 4 most appropriate principle of design which can be commonly observed in the given image, right? Now, in most of these previous NATA test papers, also we had seen that generally they are asking for around to identify these principles and elements of design, and you have to identify 4 of them, which means you have to answer all the 4 options should be right. So, what are the answers? Let's see that. So here are the correct option for uh, for this particular question. Now I have given a little bit of overview of what these terminologies mean. Okay, like depth, movement, texture, and emphasis. These are the right options. Okay, and I have given certain meaning of certain terminologies as well over here. So the options are uh, the first one is depth, then we have texture, okay, we have contrast and solids and void, right? So I have explained you because a lot of students they ask that what is solids, solids and voids. So I have explained it. This is something in terms of architecture. Okay, this principle is in terms of architecture, which is like there is no solid without a void, and vice versa. There will always be a correlation between a solid enclosure limiting the void space. Simultaneously, the void, okay, void means the empty space, defines the solid mass, which makes the solid become solid and meaningful. Like over here, we can see there is solid and there is a particular space which is left, which is not filled with solid, which is the void. So we can see the principle of solid and void over here. And of course, you are architecture students. In architecture, you need to have a void space because that's what it is all about, right? You need to have a space where you are staying, where you are putting your stuff and things, right? So you cannot have absolutely solid buildings. You need to have void in it. Okay. Depth, as we all know, what it is, a sense of depth and an illusion that your design expands beyond the second dimension. Anything that gives a three-dimensional effect to our 2D structures. Then I have also given the meaning of hierarchy. Okay, we already know what is texture and what is contrast. We can see texture over here. We can see contrasting colors over here, right? Depth is of course there, and why I have given the meaning of hierarchy again over here, although it's not one of the options, but I have given the meaning because my students they asked me, okay, what is hierarchy? Is hierarchy present in the particular image or not? Okay, and in the following video, you will see that there are a lot of images with option of hierarchy, right? So it's better to understand the meaning right away. In a visual uh, design principle, which designers use to show the importance of each page or screen's content by manipulating these characters. So hierarchy simply means that something that is very important, it will have a bigger size, right? It might be bigger in size or it might have a different color. So you have that hierarchy. Something which is least important will be given the least space or will be the smallest in size. So that is what hierarchy means in terms of visual design. Okay. So over here again we have a particular image and we have to identify the four elements or principles of design. So here we have the answers are line, gradation, contrast, and parallelism. Okay, so I have given the meaning of axis over here because again, a lot of students they were asking what does axis mean. So in order to omit in order to omit an option, we really need to know what the actual option is all about. So an axis is a central line that helps to organize a design. Okay. Often there is an axis at the center of a building or over a doorway. So again, it is in terms of your architecture. Okay, we are talking about axis in the terms of architecture. So when architects use an axis or focal point in their design, it acts like a straight arrow or a sign pointing you to the right direction. So we don't have axis over here, but I gave out the meaning so that our students they have the knowledge of this particular um, um, this particular word or this particular element. Then we have gradation. Right, and yes, gradation. I haven't given the meaning of line over here because we already know, our students already know that line is a movement in a particular space, and we can see that there are these lines, okay, which are present over there. Gradation. Gradation in a design refers to any gradual change, okay, any particular gradual change that occurs by a series of steps, degree, or stages where there is an obvious visual shift from one state to another. So gradation, it's gradual, okay, as the name suggests. And yes, we do see that the lines are gradually becoming thinner, right? So it's a very dominant feature over here in this particular image. Then line weight is not an option, but still I have given the meaning of line weight over here, that what is line weight. It is the visual lightness or darkness or heaviness of a line within a drawing. Now please try and understand. So when a student is studying architecture, right? And they have to make a draft of a particular room, right? So if they have to show a wall, which is which is the most important wall, which is thicker, so they'll show it with a dark line, right? So accordingly, the gradation, the weight of the line, right? The thickness or the darkness of the line will define the kind of architectural feature that is present in that particular image. In any architectural drawing, from a sketch to a construction drawing, the interplay of different relative line, relatively, some line is relatively thinner or relatively darker, okay? The relative line weight is used to communicate depth, importance, and proximity. Okay. Then yes, next option is contrast, which is the answer, right? Then I have also the next option is parallelism. So over here, the four options are line, gradation, contrast, parallelism. Now, what is parallelism? Parallelism doesn't mean parallel lines. Okay, don't take it in that particular term that it is okay. There are a lot of parallelism. Somebody would look at this image and would assume that, right? But no, let's understand the meaning. So, parallelism implies that an effort can also be estimated by drawing a comparison across settings, times, or outcome variable. So, it is parallelism over here means comparison. Okay, when you are drawing parallel of something to something else, right? So, that is what it is. And then I have given the meaning of flow. You create flow through a combination of visual weight and visual direction. That is what flow means. Since a lot of students they ask me this particular the meaning of this particular term. Then we have another image over here. Let's see what are the correct option for this particular image. So the correct options are progression, dominance, similarity, and contrast. Okay? Why contrast? Because contrast in terms of color, similarity in terms of shape. Okay, although the size and the colors are different, but the form is same, right? Those are cubes. Then you have dominance over here. So element of dominance, dominance element in a design is the one with the greatest visual weight. Okay, so you have a comparison over there. Certain certain cubes are bigger in size and certain cubes are smaller in size, right? So there is a sort of dominance over here in this particular image. Then progression. Progression is when the designer takes an element and applies a gradient to one or more of its qualities. They have created, then in that case, they have created progression. One can increase or decrease the size of the elements such as shape. So you can see there is a lot of play happening in terms of the size. okay, size of this particular form. One can increase or decrease the size of elements such as shape, line, or color. This creates visual interest as without variation, repetition, or repetition, it can look very monotonous. So progression is again a kind of movement where you um, play with the size, or you progress into a particular color, or you progress into a particular line or shape. Okay. I've also given the meaning of order over here. So what order means? Order means the presence of various elements or principles. So that simply means in what order are they present? So there are 12 basic principles of design: contrast, balance, emphasis, proportion, hierarchy, repetition, rhythm, pattern, white space, movement, variety, and unity. Okay, so it means that it means that we have lot of elements present over here. Half an hour. Okay. Then again, I have given the meaning of axis. An axis is a central line that helps to organize a design. Although we don't have any axis over here because there is no central line. Okay. So don't misunderstand. I have just given out different meanings so that it's easy for you to understand. And I have underlined the right options for all of you. And please remember, it's not just necessary to know the right answer. It is also absolutely important for you guys to understand all the options which has been given to you. Then only it will help to eliminate, right? You eliminate the wrong answer and you reach the right answers. At times, even this strategy works well for our students. Moving ahead, oh, this one's very, very easy. So again, please be very, very well versed with the logo designs and what elements or principles the logo designs are having. So here, simply we know there's figure and ground, which is the play of negative and positive area, and we have the element or the principle of closure. Closure simply means that we all know it's S written over here, right? So there is no shape, there is no form over here, but still our eyes are, um, you know, it's a recognizable shape. The shape of S is something which is recognizable, and when we see a recognizable shape, we tend to enclose the incomplete line. So that is what it is, right? Next is again a question which is part of the uh, color theory. Okay, so analogous, triadic, complementary, and warm. So the answer is complementary. Why? Because we see orange and blue. Okay, so they are complementary. Well, yeah, there are other colors also present, but we are talking about the more dominant ones. This one's very interesting. So here we have landscape and the color. What sort of color do we have over here is given over here, right? Are they primary color? Definitely it's not primary color, right? Secondary color, tertiary color, or triadic color, right? So let's see what are these, and also it's very important that you know what the color harmony is all about. What are primary, what are secondary, what are tertiary, what are triadic. So let's see what are the tertiary. This is actually tertiary color harmony, and why is it tertiary color harmony? We'll discuss about it over here. So basically, whenever you are looking at any landscape paintings, okay, so landscape consists of a lot of things, right? It will consist of sky, vegetation, sun, or maybe if it's a night sky, then it's a different story altogether. But when we are talking about a day sky, so there are different colors present over here. Okay, and the most common colors that are used in a landscape are the tertiary colors. Okay, why? So we have the reason right here in front of us, and I have shown the tertiary color options also for you. Okay. Tertiary, the tertiary harmony uses all six tertiary hues. Okay, all of you know what tertiary colors are. Okay, you can think of these six tertiary hues as either warm or cool colors, right? So in a landscape, the warmer yellow, orange, red, orange colors, these are generally used in the foreground, okay, together with yellow, green in the vegetation. Then you'll definitely have vegetation, water and everything. So the cool colors are used over there. The cooler blue, greens are seen more in the middle distance. The red, violet, and blue violet are seen in distant hills and mountains and in the near shadows, with the coolest blue violet being seen in the far distance. Okay, so there is always a mixture of these tertiary colors in any particular landscape. Of course, you have to analyze also when you are looking at it, you have to analyze also, and then you have to reach a particular conclusion. So, this one, tetradic color harmony. So, which is tetradic color harmony? The option is C. What are tetradic color harmony? So, it is created by selecting four distinct hues from the color wheel. Two sets of complementary colors are used in it. To create a tetradic color, an artist should start by selecting one primary and one secondary since they are opposite to each other. Okay, and then you choose another set of complementary hue. So it forms a rectangle over here. Next is, this is also very interesting. So you have certain colors in these charts, okay, and you have to pick up the color chart which shows pastel colors. So what are pastel? Pastel colors are also called as the tints, and as we all know, we get the tints by mixing white in any particular hue. So the answer is A, where we have a tint of blue. Okay, significant amount of white has been used in these colors, and they form the pastel hue. Which among the following does not belong to the tertiary color harmony? Okay, so again, this is very easy. All of them amber, turquoise, vermilion, okay, vermilion red or something. A lot of people say these are tertiary colors. But when we talk about purple color, so what do we have? We have one uh, blue and red. Okay, so we get a purple. So purple is a secondary color because it is being formed by mixing two primary colors. So it's definitely not a tertiary color. Which of the following is not elements of design over here? So the answer is emphasis. Emphasis is not an element, it's a principle. Okay, principle means the rule and elements means the tool. Again, we have a particular image photograph in front of us. So what do we have over here? We have a particular line. We can see a balance, right? There is a sense of balance. There is a sense of unity. Why unity? Because everything is coming together to form this particular composition. Be it the human figure, be it the colors, be it those lines and texture. So they are uniting with each other to form this complete composition. There's definitely no pattern. There's definitely we can see dominance over there, right? Dominance in terms of the element which has been, which has been focused on. Next is, so identify again four most appropriate principles of design, okay, applicable to the composition which is given over here. So we have hierarchy, dominance, right? Focal point and order. Now, why do we have hierarchy? Because again, if your whole focus is going on the red circle, so it has been given importance, so hence there is hierarchy, and every other element is of the same size and they are little smaller than the circle. Dominance again, because red circle is the most dominating factor. It is focusing, we are focusing on that, so hence focal point. And we are also talking about order. Over here, order is the way everything has been presented. Even the red dot is in a particular order, it is not going out of place, right? And other elements or principles are not present. There's no texture, there's no depth, there's no gradation or anything of that sort. Next, we got artwork over here. Again, a very, very common question that we see in NATA examination. So, you will be shown certain images, certain artworks, and you will be asked to identify what those artwork, what sort of artwork it is. So, over here, you can see image, and this is this is definitely not surrealism or graphic art or pointillism, but yes, this is photorealism. But it's looking realistic. Okay. Then we have a particular image over here. So it comprises of small dots. Okay, it comprises of dots, and if we are looking at it as a whole, then what the dot uh, stands for. So it looks like an eye. Okay, so definitely, there is the principle of proximity. So, principle of proximity says that when certain elements have been given to you, and they are in close proximity, so they collectively they might signify something else. So, it's just because of the proximity. Now, you increase the proximity, it will just appear to be separate dots. Okay, so this element of principle of proximity is playing a huge role in signifying what this particular artwork is all about. Again, a very, very common image over here. So all of you guys, if you have picked up a copy of Times of India, you'll find this cartoon every day in that particular newspaper, right? So this was created by R.K. Lakshman, cartoonist R.K. Lakshman. He's no more right now, and he created this character of common man, right? And who was always presented in a very funny manner in a particular situation of a day-to-day life. Okay, and through those cartoons, the cartoonist used to convey the present scenario of the common man in our country. Okay, so here we have a question. Again, these kind of questions, the image will be shown to you either for 30 or 45 seconds. So quickly observe it. Remember what are the things that are present over there. Start with color, start with shape, number of shades. Okay, identify them quickly, and then you will have questions based on it. So here, choose the correct image of one of the little girls as seen in the given image. So here is one of the options. The option B is the right one. So we can see over here And also, you might think that, okay, what about D? So there's not much of a difference. There's just a difference of the small, uh, ribbon that is there. So you have to be very, very observant. And this can only come with practice, okay? So practice as much as possible, right? Um, we at KP classes, when we conduct our classes for NATA, right, or any other examination, we see to it that the students have maximum amount of practice of questions, of similar questions that can be asked in any particular exam. So here the answer is number of children. We can see 3 children, okay, in this particular image. Then again the same image has been shown and has been asked that what's the color of Lord Krishna's stole. So it's green. The answer is green. Then again this particular image has been shown and there are series of questions that has been asked related to this particular question. Okay, so it says how many coal train engine was seen in the given image, right? So the answer is 3. Remember, they are asking you about the coal train engine. How many train engines were seen facing the front? Okay, in front elevation. So you really need to know about elevation plan. Okay, so that your isometric sketches, so that you can answer these questions appropriately. So the answer is 2. There are 2 of those engines. So that brings us to the end of this particular discussion session of NATA Shift 1 paper. Okay, we will be coming up with another video where we are discussing about the architecture aptitude part. Okay, and also the general aptitude part. We'll be scheduling those videos very very soon. So please don't miss them out. Okay, and I will also be coming up with NATA second attempt shift to question paper discussion, right? So please stay tuned, subscribe to our channel. We will be coming up with these live videos very, very soon. Okay, I want all of you to avail the benefits that we are providing you so that you can score well in your examination and you can get into a college that you are willing to get into. Okay, so stay tuned and all the best and see you soon, guys. Bye.